Okay, time now is 12:52 afternoon on October 17th. Um yeah. Um I I had a very good sleep. Um I slept from 3:55. Now to be fair, I actually went to bed at 3:30, but I stayed on my bed and used my phone for 25 minutes because I don't care. 3:55 to essentially 11:30. Um or 11:15, I think. And it was a really good sleep. I feel energized. I don't have to do this video on my bed. I can just do it in my room clothes, and it's nice. But after the alarm rang at 11 something, I was still really tired, and I immediately went back to sleep. I was like, fuck it, I'll just sleep a little more. It's fine. Anyways, I have all the time in the world today. Um, And so I went back to bed, and I didn't even fall asleep. I just laid on my bed and I was chilling. And then at some point, I suddenly remembered that I have an assignment to submit today at noon. And I looked at the clock, and it says 12:10, and I was like, "Holy fuck, not again!" So I immediately brushed my teeth, washed my face, everything, and I immediately, first thing, I turned on my laptop. Um, turned on my laptop and immediately checked. So the thing is, this is CTCS 200's discussion post, and I already accidentally missed. So they have discussion posts every single week, and you need to submit them every week. I already missed 2 weeks by accident because I keep forgetting. And again, I'm kind of overwhelmed actually because I have so much going on at the same time. So I keep forgetting things. I keep missing deadlines for all sorts of assignments and stuff. And it's honestly frustrating. So I'm like, well, fuck. I was so ready to give up. I was like, okay, well, I guess I missed my third assignment. The thing is, they allow you to miss twice for the discussion posts. Like, they changed the policy a little bit. But since last week, they were like, okay, I know you guys are busy. You can miss twice. So I thought missing twice is fine. And if I miss twice, then I only technically miss once. So it's fine, I'll just have to live with it again. Unless for some reason there's a grace period after 12 at noon. Like if there's like a couple hours of grace period, that would be great. So I immediately went to Brightspace and checked the assignment submission. And holy shit, there is a grace period. Holy fuck. But it's only 50 minutes long. After I brushed my teeth and everything, it was 12:30. I have 20 minutes left. 20 minutes to write that discussion post. So I immediately wrote it, immediately submitted it, and now it's done. Consider it done. So yeah, that was something. What a clutch, what a save. Had I not realized this earlier when I was still on bed, and had I not brushed my teeth faster, or had I brushed my teeth slower, I would have missed this probably. I would have had less time to do this. So thank God I saved my soul. So that was something. Um, yeah. So that was truly something. Um, there's another quiz later tonight that I need to do, but again, I'm gonna check later to make sure it is actually tonight, like 11:59, and not at noon. Like, come on. So yeah, pretty sure it's due tonight. So I'm so fucking paranoid. So today at 2:30, there's a Zoom meeting between me, the TA2, and the instructor of the English class. And then immediately afterwards, I'm gonna have to go to campus, and I and this TA will meet up. Um, and then we'll finish watching Dead Poet Society, and then I probably will prepare some kind of English game for us to play with. And then immediately afterwards, I would first and foremost, go home, and then I'll go out again to H Mart which hopefully, hands crossed, fingers, it won't take as much time. And then there's another APCA music video meeting tonight, which I kind of don't want to go because I realized the whole APCA thing is kind of silly now, even though literally 2 months ago I really wanted to do more APCA stuff, but I guess Jing and North had successfully convinced me that APCA is silly child's play. But there was a crew application thing where essentially a crew in APCA is essentially like a house, like Gryffindor or like Slytherin or something. There are 3 crews within APCA where, I don't know, 9 or 10 people form a friend group and they just hang out, they have fun, they make short films together, etc. I wanted to apply, but then I realized, holy shit, I don't know a single soul in this group other than Jamie, the other girl, and Calyx, the half white, the Asian guy, who is pretty funny, and I haven't seen in quite a while. I haven't spoken to. I've seen him, but I haven't spoken to him quite a while. But he seems like a funny guy. And also apparently there's a Hong Konger girl in there, which sort of piques my interest. Like, who is this mysterious fellow? But then at the same time, if I join a crew and I'm like the odd one out, then it's like fucking stupid. So I guess for me, my dream goal is to be able to make friends with the higher ups at APCA without having to do this whole haha ice breaking activity kind of procedure, because it's stupid and my introverted ass will not be able to handle it. So yeah, that's that. Um so yeah, nothing else. Nothing else, not much else. I'm gonna have to reach out to Ariel, and I have to reach out to a couple other people to make sure they repost my thing on Instagram, and hopefully I will get more donations because so far it's only $20. Again, I can only buy a bowl of ramen with that shit. So I need more donations. I'm gonna send that link to my mom. I'm gonna do the entrepreneurship thing tomorrow and see if that helps too. I don't know. So much is happening. Um, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. For today. Not much else to talk about. Fight on. Okay, let's not do that. Let's not say that. That's the motto of USC. It's not cool anymore. But seriously, fight. The fight continues. The battle continues. The battle for everything continues. My life is one big battle, I guess. Yippee. Fucking hell. Okay. God damn it. Fuck. Okay, so time now is 8:51 p.m. I'm going to go out like right now again. I just had sushi dinner, pretty cool. It's been a dense day. Not a lot happened, but it's dense, like always. But turns out the Zoom meeting for APCA Music Video Crew is not a Zoom meeting. Turns out it's an in-person meeting on campus, which is kind of silly, but I guess I'm gonna do it. So yeah, I'm leaving now. Pretty weird. Not gonna lie, that's pretty weird. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Kai
So
was
much better though.
Kai was the one who
Oh, Zoom.
And we won't save any of the chats we won't know what anybody said.
I have bad connection.
Join with. No, it should be fine. Yo, what up, bro?
Hi, how you doing?
Good, good, good. This is Cliff, by the way. I was the one who talked to you like a week and a half.
Okay, time now is 11:40 p.m. It's been about 1 hour since I've returned home, and I would just like to talk a little bit. So today is another dense day. Quite a lot happened, and none of them are of significance. Once again, I underestimated how much time I need in the morning, because in the morning, after finishing that assignment and then steaming the shumai and the red bean buns for breakfast, it was already like 1:30 p.m. Like, holy fuck. And I have 1 hour before I have to hop on a Zoom meeting with the TA and the instructor. And within that 1 hour, I still have to cook lunch, film reviews. I even wanted to watch more movies during that period, but apparently it's just 1 hour, or less actually. So I prioritized things a little bit. I filmed a couple reviews very fast, and then I was over by 2 minutes. And at that point it was 2:32 already. So I hopped onto a Zoom meeting between me, the TA, and the instructor, and it went pretty well, even though I feel like I've been botching everything I'm doing right now, like the papers in classes, applications for things like Spotlight, the ALI stuff. I feel like I'm botching everything because I'm such a mess right now. Like, I have so much to handle. It's too much of a mess. And yeah. But I think I did okay in the Zoom meeting. I was held accountable for things, and I was being, responsible. And yeah, so originally the idea was from 3:15, right after the Zoom meeting, I'm gonna immediately leave and hopefully somehow immediately catch a bus and then arrive on campus and do the 2 hours with the same TA. And then immediately afterwards, I'll go to H Mart. I'll probably go home first, and then I'll go to H Mart. Schedule has changed. The Zoom meeting went over by like 3 minutes, and on top of that, I'm hungry and I haven't had lunch. So I made myself bangers and mash. Mashed potatoes, pre-made sausages with some orange bell pepper. It was a damn good lunch, honestly. I was pretty satisfied with it. I'd give it like an 8 out of 10 maybe. Or maybe 7. So I walked all the way to campus instead of taking a bus, and I arrived on campus at 4:35 p.m. So at that point I was like, okay, no H Mart, I guess. If I do this 4:35, I do 2 hours, 6:35, I go to H Mart and back home, that's going to be at least 8:30 p.m. And also there's this APCA music video Zoom meeting that is 8 p.m. until I receive an email saying that it's 9 p.m. in person. So that changes everything. If it's over Zoom, then I can just, chill. but no, it's in person. So yeah, everything's just made even more unnecessarily complicated. So I arrived on campus. I met with the TA. We went to his office inside the EEB, nice little secluded room where we went over presentation. The good news is apparently, and I don't know if this is correct, but apparently the 45-minute Zoom meeting we had counts towards the 2 hours, which means that today I don't have to physically meet with the TA for 2 hours. I only have to meet him for 1 hour and 15 minutes. So from 4:30 to 5:45, we went over the presentation. Perfectly timed, a-okay. I feel like I'm being a really good teacher, by the way. Like, I really, noticed the TA's pronunciation issues, and I really, trained him to do things. But of course, improvement takes time. So it's not like he's immediately going to get better, but I do notice some sort of improvement. I'm really scared that I'm a bad teacher, because the girl I tutored last year, she, as much as I tried to help, it wasn't enough time for her to improve, and she still sucks at English, unfortunately. But hopefully things are a little different here. Okay, anyways. 5:45, because I had a diagonal bag with me, it's like, you know what, screw it, I'll directly go to H Mart. So I took a 40-something minute long bus from the USC campus to H Mart. I took 2 buses. In between, I had to wait 20 minutes. I arrived in H Mart and it was sunset. Thankfully, the sushi's still there. Even though I believe they're not fresh anymore, the tuna looks faded. But I bought some sushi, bought a bunch of shit, $60-something, who cares, came back home. I waited for 207, but the bus 207, it just passed straight by me. I think the bus knows that I'm there. It's just so full that the bus driver was like, you know what, fuck it. I'll just fuck some poor stranger standing by the streets in the ass, because I love ruining lives, because killing people is fun. So yeah, so I'm like, fuck you. So I walked maybe 12, 13 minutes and then waited for another 10 fucking minutes to wait for the bus 206. Went home, put down my stuff, and then immediately within 1 hour, down some sushi, some boiled veg, very simple dinner. Considering how calorie heavy the lunch was, simple dinner is, to be expected. Yeah, and then I immediately left, took a free lift out, and went to the TCC, which is the Tutor Center canteen. And there's nobody. It's locked, it's empty, there's no one. And then I received a phone call from this guy, Eugene, and I'm like, hey. So at this point, I was thinking, okay, I actually don't want to be part of this anymore. Because this is fucking stupid. But I'll just show up just for funsies, And maybe I'll still be part of the crew just to see how shit will go down and just to see the drama. Because drama is always fun to see. So Eugene came, and apparently they're not inside the canteen. They're on some tables outside, on some chairs, a little sitting area. So I went there, and a bunch of people formed a group, and about maybe 12-ish people formed a group, and everyone did a little self-intro again because I showed up. And the girl who looks like Hayden from New Jeans, she's here. But I don't think she recognized me, but I definitely recognizes her. She's here, and a bunch of other random people are here, all Asians. There's an Indian American guy beside me. There's an AD, there are multiple producers, and there are 2 PDs, so they would choose 2 other people other than me for PD. Okay, sure. And then there's a director guy it's weird, he's Chinese, but he is a first-generation Chinese Mexican, if that makes sense. And then there's this other guy, apparently he's 3rd-generation Hong Konger American, and his name is Ethan, and apparently I know him. Like I've seen his face somewhere. And I asked him, hey, I know you from somewhere. Were you at the APCA banquet from last semester? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, well, that must be where I've known you. But to be honest, I think Calix, the white Asian guy, I think he's the one who showed me who this Ethan guy is. So, yeah. So I just feel stupid. I'm the gaffer. Like, why the fuck am I a gaffer? I didn't ask for this. And then so we sat around and we listened to the 3 songs by the artist. And holy shit, they're fucking garbage. And it's hilarious because I think we all know that it's not good. And we all try our best to compliment it. Like, ooh, I like the outro. Ooh, I like the beat switch. But it's all, the most generic, basic, AI-generated R&B you'll ever find. It's the same atmospheric, and then the Cliff, the guy who runs the program, he's like, ooh, this reminds me of 4BATS. 4BATS music fucking sucks. So I'm just sitting here like, Jesus. And then people are like nodding their heads to the song, like, and I'm like, okay, this is the moment when I knew for sure that I will not want to be in this program. Like, I do not want to be part of the team. I'm out. I'm out of here. This is not cool. I'm just gonna ruin everyone's lives. If I'm here, I would be a troll. And I'm not gonna do that. So, yeah, I, I didn't say much. Every time I speak up, I would just be like, joking. Like, an ad plays, and I'm like, ooh, nice sample. Or whenever, because like somebody joked saying, oh, we're like so weird, we're sitting around listening to music and not saying anything, and I'm like, yeah, we're a cult. And yeah, like I was just like, I was really relaxed. I wasn't really that nervous. I was really relaxed because I didn't take any of this seriously at all. So it's later, I was revealed to be the gaffer. And then Ethan was like, yeah, we need to talk. I'm going to show you the equipment. And I hate belittling people, but like, I feel like I'm overqualified for this shit. I'm not overqualified for gaffing. In fact, I'm bad at gaffing because I don't have a lot of experience. I've done gaffing for Aoba once, and that wasn't even gaffing. Like, I did nothing. So, you know, I feel like I'm overqualified. Like, I feel like I'm better for better projects. Bigger projects, like the one I just hopped off, even though it was a shitty experience, you know, at least it was a big experience first and foremost. You know, the MFA thesis, you know, the lock and anywhere the wind blows and neither donkey, like those are the ones I'm willing to work on. So yeah. As we were leaving, I spoke with the leaders of the program, Cliff, not the Malaysian Cliff. His full name is Clifton. I'm gonna call him Clifton. Apparently he's Indonesian. Clifton and Eugene. And Eugene was very like, oh no, I know, like, you didn't ask to be a gaffer, but like, this is a learning experience, you know? Think of this as everyone's learning and, you know, all that bullshit. And I was just like, yeah, like, that's fucking bullshit. That shit is AI generated. Like, I don't need to hear this. Clifton was a bit more understanding, and he's like, I totally get you. You know, there was one time I was asked to be AD, but I'm like, I'll never be an AD because that's not for me. So there's no pressure, you know, so think on it. So yeah. But I do believe that there's a 99% chance that I'm fucking leaving. Like, I cannot do this. This is cringy. I don't want to be... And also, like, they were like, okay, first assignment. You're going to be... Like, they talked to Tony, the director of the music video, or the to-be director of the music video, and they were like, hey, so you're going to have to do a lot of work for the next week. You'll have to do this meeting, do that meeting, talk about equipment, blah, 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 blah. And here I'm thinking... Thank God I'm not the director, because I already have 5 fucking classes. I have the ALI job thing, and I'm busy with other shit like YouTube and stuff. So, like, I don't have time for this shit. I don't have time. I don't want to spend hours upon hours making a dumb music video for a dumb song. And we had like a Discord call with the artist, and he's like the most artist ever. He's an Asian guy named Andrew, and he's like, oh, my fashion sense right now, I don't know, man. I'm just wearing small shirts and big pants. And then he's like, ooh, what if we make the music video like retro and it's about love? Like there's romance, but I'm the main character. And like, that's so fucking stupid. That's like how I can't wait to tell Matt this so that he can laugh at it, And I'm already very lenient on stupid shit. Like 90% of the short films I've worked on are fucking stupid. Anyways, like even Candy or Movie, the short film I just hopped off, the story is dumb as shit. I think the only few short films I've worked on that I like the story of is Anywhere the Wind Blows, Neither Donkey, Andrew's Reincarnate was actually not too bad. There was an idea there. Yeah, like... So yeah, end of rant. I just don't think I'm gonna do it. But I do want to infiltrate APCA through some other ways. I don't know how. I paid $35 and then I realized that APCA is just not for me. Like, I just cannot do it. Like, a lot of these group gatherings and like team ups is just like, I just don't know. And I think the overall comment of the day is I don't know. Maybe it's a script, maybe it's a virgin, because I'm writing it again. I'm not feeling very great emotionally. I think I'm already having a bit of a midlife crisis before the shoot of Candy or Movie. And now it's still kind of there, right? I still don't find any purpose in anything. And I think the worst feeling is I feel like I have trust issues with everyone. Like, I just cannot fully be comfortable with anyone. And I feel like, I don't know, there's something very violent happening in my mind right now. Like, there's this... I can't really describe it, can I? If I try to logically word it out, I can't, because it's a feeling. It's not really a thought. But I feel like there's some sort of violence inside me right now. I feel like there's like a black hole inside of me, and I want to just go out there, get naked, and scream. And I don't know why. I don't really know why. I just feel like I'm not heard, or I'm not understood. I feel like I'm not understood still. I feel like part of it is, again, I'm writing The Virgin and everyone around me have boyfriends and girlfriends. Apparently, I'm not terribly surprised, but apparently Colin has a boyfriend, and I don't know, the South Korean girl I'm living with, she keeps bringing this guy here, and I don't know, I don't want to jump to conclusions. Luis is rubbing Cass's feet. Like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm not understood enough. And, I feel like I don't want to be nice. I feel like I just want to be weird and be antisocial, I saw a cat downstairs of my apartment while I was calling a lift, and I was like, psst, psst, and the cat sort of looks at me, and I've been trying to interact with this cat for over a month, and at first the cat is really afraid of me, but I think I keep running into the same few cats, and this black cat in particular, I keep running into it. And I think they're less afraid of me now. At some point, the cat jumped through the fence and entered the apartment while I was outside waiting for the lift, and the cat just sort of stared at me. And then another guy and his pet dog sort of walked past, and both me and the cat sort of looked at the dog. And I don't know, I just feel so much. I like, well, I don't know what the fuck was I thinking, but I feel like I'm more connected to a cat than I am connected to a human being, at that moment. And suddenly I feel kind of lonely, and I feel sad, and I feel like no one understands me, and I just feel a little miserable. Pink, I think a couple days ago, posted photos of herself and her current boyfriend sort of hanging out, and Pink is like in a bikini, and photos of her, like, I'm not going to go into details because she's a good friend of mine, but she's a 23-year-old adult woman, by the way. Holy fuck, why are my friends adults? What's wrong with the world? It's like, I'm still not gotten over the idea that people are growing old and growing mature and being wise and are able to do adult things. Because I'm still a child. Biologically, I may not be a child, but mentally, I probably still am. Or maybe some aspects of my mind is still a child. And I just feel like I'm splitting apart. I feel like my mind is being ripped apart constantly, and I actually feel a little lightheaded right now. I don't know if I'm sick or something, but I'm actually feeling a little dizzy. I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with me. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Nothing interesting is happening really, even though I'm trying to do so much weird random shit this semester. But nothing all that interesting actually truly happened. No, there's nothing I can attach on. There's nothing I can latch onto. Like, in round 3, I was latched onto Leslie because I was in love, and I had fear because I was afraid of losing power in Film 33. And I think in rounds 1 and 2, it was also fear because I just came to the US and I want to survive. So the first year was definitely like a survival year. 2022 was definitely a survival kind of thing. But 2024, it's been 10.5 months or 9.5 months, and I feel nothing. No love, no fear, only hatred though. Hatred for Kuchio, hatred for Leslie, hate for the city, hate for the system. I have nothing but hatred in me, really. But even so, it's not like I'm gonna latch onto that, because like, what the hell am I gonna do? Plot against Kuchio's demise? Actually, the documentary is, in some ways, that. Which is why the documentary is such an important thing. I think the documentary is like the only interesting thing that me and Tova have been doing. But I have nothing else. I just float from place to place without being attached to anything, without a care for anything, and nothing really matters. My life here doesn't really mean anything. Like, yeah. So yeah, I guess that's it. I'm probably not gonna fall in love with anyone this semester, or be interested in anything this semester. All my classes are fucking boring. APC is disappointing. Spotlight is not all that. My job is not all that. There's nothing in it for me. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I love movies. That's for sure. This is why I'm watching so many films and I'm buying Blu-rays and stuff. That's what's keeping me going. If I hate one thing and I love one thing, it would be my hate for Cuchillo and Leslie and my love for films. These are the two main driving forces in my life right now. But even Cuchillo and Leslie have taken a backseat, you know. Yeah, I'm like a angsty 17-year-old teen, except I'm 22. Yeah. Anyways, hopefully tomorrow I'll feel a little better. I'm gonna work out. I feel fat. You know, I feel fat as fuck. You know, the Taiwanese girl was like, oh, you're objectively good looking. Which is, by the way, one of the best moments of the semester. I'll be honest here. Because that's like a huge ego boost. Natalie told me, friends of 5 years at that point, she told me she wouldn't be my friend if I didn't speak English that well. And now a random Taiwanese girl who barely knew me told me I'm good looking. Muchas gracias. But like my body is still not good. I feel skinny and fat at the same time, you know. So I gotta work out. I'm gonna do the running machine. I'm gonna do chest. And yeah, running machine and chest. And arms. Yeah. Meet up with John L. Again, significant hangout. Cannot be dismissed. And meet up with Equo tomorrow night. So another really dense day. Saturday, so if I hadn't gone to H Mart today, Saturday would be H Mart. But now I don't need to, so yippee-ki-yay. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. Trader Joe's lemon bars. What? No way. Time now is 9:52 a.m. on October 18th. 18th, yes. Yes. I slept from 4:55. I slept from 4:45 to 9:50. Yeah, that's extremely late. But I really had too much to do last night. Thank God the quiz, turns out it's not due last night. Turns out it's due tomorrow night or actually 20th night. Yeah. It turns out it's, you know. So I didn't do the quiz last night, which is great, but I still did a bunch of other shit. I finished one film, and I edited 2 videos, and that's it. I'm so tired. Anyways, hopefully I'll go to bed early tonight, like 3 a.m. ish, you know. The interesting thing is I didn't even fall asleep immediately. I don't know what's wrong with me. I really don't. But the good thing is, tomorrow I don't need to wake up early at all. I am so fucking sleeping all day tomorrow. So, yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. So, today, I'm waking up an hour earlier than usual because I need to finish the fucking film Harold and the Purple Crayon, and then, oh my god, my voice. What the hell? And then, I need to, do the mini movie review video. And then, and then, oh my god, what's wrong with my voice? I don't know. And then, and then there's a mini, okie dokie. And then I have class, and then right after class I'll do gym, and then after that I'll meet up with John L, and then I'll go home, take a shower, and then I'll go back out immediately for the networking thing with Equo. So, yeah. Oh my god, what's wrong with my voice? Jesus Christ. Okay, that's weird. 因為冇汁嗰啲嘢。Okay, time now is 8:55 p.m. on. So yeah, today is another dense day where a lot happened and none of them are that important. It's cool that okay, there we go. Thank you, AC. It's cool that I've come to a point where I don't say NIHT. You know how back in the summer days I would always say, oh, NIHT, NIHT, like nothing important happened today. But I feel like in the past 2-3 weeks I haven't said that. Because I don't need to. Something happens every day, except none of them are really that significant. So I guess today we'll start off with CTCS 200 discussion class, walked to school, and arrived, sat at the very front, and Matt sat next to me again, and this other Asian girl, Marissa, and this other white guy sat, and us four were like the four most proactive people. The thing is, like, I didn't even want to speak up during class, but by sitting at the very front of the classroom, I automatically become proactive. Like the TA keeps looking at me, and whenever I have any tiny reactions, like if I laugh at something, like it's like very obvious. But yeah, it's hilarious. Today's class was absolutely fucking hilarious because today's class is supposed to be 50 minutes long. The TA spent 30 minutes ranting about the class. She was talking about how she was confused during lecture. She thought that the lectures are not that helpful, and also the assignment instructions are very unclear. And then it went on, and then different students started to like criticize the class, which is so crazy, and it's such a funny thing to see. And then Matt, of course, has a lot of criticisms saying that, this is supposed to be a history of international cinema, but so far we've been talking about nothing but American films. To be fair, we spent 1 week talking about German films, and we talked about one Italian film, but that's it. So definitely kind of hilarious. And it went on and on and on, and people were just complaining. And then we ended up talking about movies, the films we have to see for class, but then again, it's nothing but criticisms. Like, okay, the film we actually saw was actually not that good. Like, we saw Manhattan and The Crowd. And Manhattan, the TA herself was like, oh, this is like weird pro-America silent film. And then for The Crowd, like, I laughed because the main character of The Crowd is called Johnny Sims, like the porn star. And so I laughed. And then the TA was like, Enoch, what do you think? And then I actually gave a really thoughtful answer about how the film deals with the American dream, but how it kind of didn't. And so the general consensus is negative. Like, these films are bad. But The Crowd is not bad. I do like that film a little bit. And then after class, I and Matt talked a little more, talking about the classes that just came out. And once again, Matt is, again, very critical of the school and the syllabus and the classes. So next semester for CAMS, the classes are pretty terrible. Like, there are no good classes. I was like, oh, I was interested in taking regional or national cinema, but, and before I could end the sentence, Matt was like, they're doing America as a joke, and I was like, no, but they're doing Europe, which is just as stupid. Like, Europe for one semester, so we're doing Fellini, Godard, Tarkovsky, Truffaut, Almodovar, like the usuals, And Matt was like, yeah, the non-film classes are even more fun and interesting than the film classes. Like, there's an art class that involves using 16mm film, and then there's another comp lit class, like comparative literature, that actually deals with Southeast Asian cinema, and that's somehow even more interesting. And then, I had to take religion classes, but the religion classes are pretty fun next semester for some reason. So that's pretty much it. And then, I took, I asked Matt, like, how did you figure out how to Zell me? And Matt's like, you gave me your phone number. And I'm like, really? Because I forgot, because it happened so long ago. But anyways, Matt waited for his friend. I left. So I went back to school, went back to SCA third floor, and I just, like, chilled for 1 hour. I just used my laptop and I looked at classes and class schedules and tried to figure out what classes to pick for next semester. Apparently David Lynch's, at some point, Mary Sweeney, who was David Lynch's wife at some point, and editor of Twin Peaks and a bunch of other films like Lost Highway, apparently she teaches here. And she's teaching a writing class about dreams and stuff like that, and that's so crazy. I really want to take that class, but it's like it's for the grad program. Like, I'm not supposed to take that class. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I realized a lot of my classes that I want to take sort of clash, like RIT 340, CTCS 192, 290, and the religion classes. The worst thing is that there are two religion classes that I really wanted to take. One is Intro to Buddhism, the other is Chinese religions. And both of them are lower division, and I can only take one lower division class, so I have to choose one, which sucks. Another thing is 290 is 6 units, so 6 units plus 4 units of CAMS plus 4 units of RIT 340, and then 4 more units from religion class. It's already 18. I can't take more than that, so that definitely kind of suck. So unfortunately I can only pick one religion class to take. I wanted to take 2 religion classes, but next semester, unless I don't take 192, then I can take 2 religion classes. But even so, it's like, which one should I go for? Because they're both lower division. I can take both at the same time. It's not out of the world. It's not out of the question, but again, scheduling. And then I spent a considerable amount of time drawing. I had fun drawing. Drawing is cool. And then I went to the gym. Worked out. I did some dumbbells, and then I did the pushing thing for the chest, and then I ran, and then I wanted to do sit-ups, but some girl is doing it, so I'm not going to do it. And then it's 3:30. John L wants to meet me at 3:30 outside of Dulce, the cafe. So I went there, and John L shows up. But as I walked there, I ran into Justin T. So that's kind of interesting. Also, I forgot to mention that this morning, as I was walking to class, I ran into Jake. It's kind of crazy because I was listening to music and I was walking to school and I was thinking about APCA and I thought about Jake. And then as I thought about him, he shows up. I saw a guy on a bike and I'm like, is that Jake? Because last time I ran into Jake, he's also on a bike, like pre-summer. And it's the same intersection too, the same crossroad. So I walked up to him and I tried to I was thinking whether I should just hide. I could have just stood behind him and listened to music and pretend to be a stranger and he wouldn't notice. But I was like, you know what, screw it. So I walked up to him and I was like, hey. And he was actually really nice about it. He's like, hey, how's it going? He's busy with the APCA stuff. So I talked to him a little bit. He talked about crews. So this is something that I've been noticing in the last few days is crews. So more on that later. Anyways, all that shit happened. Equo DM me saying that he can't make it to the entrepreneurship thing tonight because his car had some issues. His car broke down or something. Always with the car. And I'm like, it's okay. Honestly, I'm not losing much because if I go to the entrepreneurship thing, I'm only gaining two things. One is I get to hang out with Equo. Two is networking. And maybe my ulterior motive is to get people to donate money to my short film. Maybe. But honestly, not going to that doesn't hurt me too much. So, meet up with John L. I feel like my hopes were too high. I thought that we're going to have a really meaningful conversation, even though of the 2 years I've known him, nearly 2.5 years I've known him, we've never really had a deep, meaningful conversation because John L has always been kind of a quiet guy, kind of carefree, not really, it's whatever, yeah, sure, kind of guy. But we met up, we lined up at Dulce, and it's the second time I'm trying Dulce, and he's shocked because when he came to USC, Dulce was so cheap, but now it's expensive. We had a Dulce club sandwich and we split it. I kind of wanted to try their desserts. Their desserts look very appetizing, and they're only $4, which is not too bad. A sandwich in Starbucks is $6. It's not too bad. Their desserts, I do want to try them at some point. They got different donuts like strawberry cream, mango mousse donuts, cinnamon toast crunch donuts. They all look very, very enticing to me. I'm like, ooh. But yeah, I'll probably get a Dulce matcha next Monday, probably if I have time. Yeah. So we talked and we mainly touched on several topics and we went back and forth with several topics. We talked about going to London. So John L's going to London because his visa ran out. That's the truth. He tried to apply to O1, but it's too late. In order to get an O1 visa, you need to apparently have done 5 projects that have won awards, and you need to be endorsed by a union. Which is the second most difficult thing. The third most difficult thing is you need letters of rec. And the other difficult thing, I forgot what it is. I think it's just, oh yeah, the future plan. So when you apply for the O1 visa, you need to have your next 3 years sort of planned out. What projects will you work on? The thing is, John L, even though his short film, Anywhere the Wind Blows, did an amazing job. Went to Cannes Pavilion and won tons of awards. The thing is, he hasn't made 5 projects that had won awards. And because his lane is directing, it's really difficult to direct 5 short films and have all 5 of them win awards. It's extremely difficult. DGA being endorsed by the Directors Guild of America, the toughest. If I'm an editor and I ask for an endorsement from IATSE, that's easier. If I'm a PD and I ask for endorsement from PGA, that's easier. But even so, I need to work on 5 projects that have won awards as PD. So honestly, now I'm thinking the chances of me getting O1 after I graduate undergrad is extremely low. Um, so I don't know. I may have to forcefully go back to Hong Kong for a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't happen because I would then lose a lot of connections here. We'll see. But the good thing is I have 3 years or 2.5 years and a bit more to figure this out. And 2.5 years is a lot. Like, so much can happen in half a year. And so little can happen too. We talked about movies, here and there. But again, he's not too keen on talking about films. Like, he's just like, oh yeah, I'm just too busy to watch movies. Like, he's a huge cinephile, but he's not like me, who, like, when I talk about movies, I just keep going and going and going. Oh, this movie, that movie. He's just like, yeah, movies, sure. I wanted to watch Megalopolis again, blah, blah, blah. We did touch on several things. Like, I told him I wanted to go to Cannes Film Festival next year, and he's like, yeah, sure, it's a fun experience. It's not going to be that meaningful, but it's going to be fun, like... And then we talked about Hong Kong, the state of Hong Kong cinema, and he's like, yeah. At this point, I've given up, like halfway given up, because it's not optimistic. So his plan in the UK is to work at a post-production house, so be an editor, and he plans to work for 5 to 10 years before he directs a feature film. So he would be in his mid-30s when he directs his first feature. And I was like, oh, but a lot of people tell me that, if you're in your 20s and you're still young and brave, you should just make a feature right now. And John was like, yeah, I've heard that saying. And there's a camp of people out there who believes in that, but I personally don't, because I don't have enough life experience yet. And then I think about myself, because I have tons of feature film ideas, and I've written feature films before, but truth be told, I'm only 22, and I've never experienced love. I've never had a car and a well-paid job, never been bullied, never had a fist fight, never nearly died, had a chronic disease. Like, I actually haven't had a lot of life experience yet, but somehow I still have so many story ideas because I guess I'm just kind of crazy. But one thing is, I told John L. I'm minoring in religion. He doesn't seem surprised. He's like, okay, cool. And I was like, yeah, because, a lot of filmmakers say don't just study film. Study something you're interested in. And John L. was like, yeah, that's actually really good. It's good you're studying religion. Because I studied film all the way in undergrad and grad, and I regret it. And I'm like, yeah, so it's cool. I'm doing religion. And I think Matt sort of has the same idea, and Matt is still undergrad, so he still has a lot of time and space to mess around. But obviously, because of my religion minor, I don't have that much wiggle room to mess around. But yeah. Yeah, and then, yeah, we just said goodbye. I was like, good luck. And he's like, yeah. He talked about the documentary that he just made about a Hong Kong taxi driver in LA, and he's still editing it, and he's like too tired, but he felt better after having a conversation with me. And I told him about the domino effect theory and how, because I worked on his short film, it opened up doors to me, like, so much. And he's like, yeah, cool. I mean, it's always like that. I asked him, like, why did you choose me to be your scriptie when I had, like, zero experience? And he's like, well, you don't really need to do much as scriptie, But yeah, that's the last of John L. It's a bit sad. And it'll be a long time until he returns to LA. In fact, today is probably going to be the last time he's ever going to come to the USC Village and try dulce. When he picked the dulce club sandwich, he's like, okay, one last time. Oof, one last time. And I was like, oh, it's ritualistic. The end of an era. Apparently there's also a hidden Hong Konger in the MFA film program right now called Amaric or Amaric or something, but John L was gonna give me his Instagram, but I guess he forgot. But be on the lookout for that. So, came home. I had a stomachache again because I had milk this morning. And I was chilling and I'm like, great, the week has just ended. Tomorrow I don't need to go anywhere. It's rest. And then I thought, wait a second. Wait a moment. Now, there's a thing called crews in APCA, and it's like houses in Harry Potter. It's like Gryffindor and Slytherin. And I believe the deadline to apply to that was like yesterday, but what if the Google Docs is still open? And so I went to Google Docs and I was just like, fuck it, I'll just apply right now. And it was like 6:30 p.m. There's an event tonight at 7 p.m. at the USC Village lawn where APCA crews sort of reveal themselves and hang out, which is really scary. As an introvert, as a cynic, I am terrible at hangouts, but I thought, you know what, fuck it. Who cares? If I go in and it's a shit show, I can just leave. So I'm like, you know what? So I just finished a shower. I'm like wet. And I'm ready to rest. And then I'm like, fuck it. So I changed my clothes and I went outside, called a Lyft, and went to USC again. USC Village again. Again, the cool thing about living so close to USC is that you can just go on a whim. You don't have to think much. Especially after 6 p.m. when free Lyft is available. So I arrived and I just walked in. There's this patch of grass and I just walked in and I saw Jake, and it was a little awkward because I don't know what to say. Because I don't want things to be too informal and I don't want things to be too formal at the same time. So I was like, hey, I'm here. I'm just here because I have some free time, I'm like, whatever. But both surprisingly and unsurprisingly, I think most of the people today at the hangout, okay, there were like maybe even like 30 people there. There's a lot of people, or at least 25. Most people there are brand new, complete strangers. I went there and I already know like at least 6 or 7 people. So Calix, the white Asian guy, he's there. I know Jake. John Kim, I know Ish. I know Jamie, didn't say hi though. I know Mitchell, he's nice. And the Korean American guy, Hyunbin, he's here too. And he's like, hey, you're Enoch. And I'm like, oh, Hyunbin. And he's like, yeah. So we all sort of like already kind of know each other. So I'm like, I actually have better chances than other people. So maybe it's not so bad of an idea. I thought Audrey, the other Asian girl, is here, but apparently she's not. But her name was called at some point, and I was hoping she would be here, but she's not. I did see her today, this morning, though. And then the other Hong Kong girl, the self-proclaimed girl from Hong Kong who was supposed to show up today, I never saw her today. Apparently she's late, but maybe she came after, but I don't know. But I have a sneaky feeling that I'll get to know her at some point. I also saw Harley, the girl who looks like Yaden. She's here again. She's very pure and she's very naive. She's always smiling. She's like, hi. Okay, nice to meet you. Like, okay. There's also a girl called Ariel, and I don't know if it's Taiwanese Ariel, because I do know that a Taiwanese girl by the name of Ariel exists. But I've never seen her, but I know who she is because she worked with Mo. So, and she showed up for one of the days of Candy or Movie. And then I met this guy whose name is Christian, and apparently, so it's kind of crazy. So Mitchell was like, yo, this is a huge reunion, Enoch and Christian. But like, I've never seen the guy before. And Mitchell was like, wait, you two didn't work on the same set? And I'm like, no. I'm in no particular night. And they were like, oh, were you in this like random set? And I'm like, no. And then I and Christian, we talked, and he's an art history major, and I'm like, oh, that's a very interesting. I talked about the art history class I took last semester, and then we asked each other about like, what year are you in? And I told him I'm a junior, and he's like, oh, it's complicated. I don't even know. And I'm like, yeah, me too, because I'm 3 years community college. I had a half a year gap, and then it's technically my 5th year. And he's like, no way, me too, the exact same sequence. And then I was like, oh, so you go on to film sets? Like, what do you do? And he's like, set dressing. And I'm like, no way, me too. And then I asked him, have you taken intro to art history? And he's like, I'm taking that right now. And I'm like, what? So it turns out we have a lot in common, and turns out we're in the same freaking class. And we exchanged IGs, and that was very useful. That's nice, because now, aside from Franklin, I know another guy in the class. I have an insider now. So maybe networking and making friends is a good idea after all. And then afterwards we split up. We split up into groups, and we sort of played like a self-intro, like a little game, and then like, and then we all went to Yoboseo, which is a newly opened boba shop at the USC Village. Notoriously expensive. We sat down and we talked about our favorite movies and talked about hangouts, and then we left. It's very light, like we're not going to hang out constantly, but at least I'll be able to make friends. And I realize that's the whole point. Like, I go to APCA not to make films. I go to APCA to make friends. And I think that's more important, because if I want to do film stuff, MFA thesis films offer so much more. So yeah, that's that. There's this old Indian guy, and I hate to use the word old, but he has like facial hair, and he's in grad school. And he's like, oh, I want to get into film sets. I want to know how the films work. And in my head, I'm just like, God damn, I'm 22. I'm undergrad. And I've already shot 8 short films, and I'm already on film sets. Like, I am so ahead of the curve. Sometimes I think I'm really ahead of the curve. We talked about our favorite movies, and most answers were pretty generic. One girl said her favorite movie was Paprika, which I really respected. And then I named my favorite films, and, it's like artsy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Took a lift back home. Here I am. This was better than last night's APCA music video meeting, which was a little unbearable, maybe. But yeah. I also ran into Justin T again for the second time at the Village while heading towards Yoboseo, which is insane. He's like, why are you here? But yeah, it's good that I have nothing to do tomorrow. Sleep, nothing else. It's good that I got to work out today. It's good I got to draw. It's good that I got to do so much today. And the APCA cruise thing, it's a little cringe, but honestly, who knows? It's like harmless to join. It's not going to suck up too much time. And it's all right. It's But yeah, that's pretty much it. Shirley, I don't know if you remember her, from the world building class, DM'd me earlier today asking me if I'm interested in being art PA for another MFA thesis where she's PDing. I'm going to say yes. And that's great, because if I say yes, then I'll be locking in another set. And then 310, if I do hop onto one, that's great. And then if I add another set, then that means I'll be on 5 sets this semester. Yeah. Yeah, going up and up. I'm still a little midlife crisis-y. Like, there's still a part of me thinking that, I'm like left alone and I'm kind of dumb, like. But at the same time, it's like, I'm trying. 4 or 5 years ago, I'm nobody. I just stay in my classroom, stay in my seat, and I don't meet anyone. right now I have a job. I'm making friends in every class I know, I think. Like, so 191, I have the Hong Konger guy. In Colin 200, I have Colin and Matt and Audrey, and Liza, and then art directing class at Franklin and this new guy, and then religion class. I'm getting along with people. The only class I have no friends is the animation class, but I don't really care, right? And then I'm doing APCA stuff. Apparently Justin T didn't even pay to be a member, so he's not obligated to do all this. I'm not obligated to do all this too, but it's just that I paid $35. I have to make something worth out of it. Yeah, so hopefully I get to know more people. That's the whole point, you know? That's the whole friggin' point. And, yeah, and Spotlight, Maisie's on there, film sets. I just met Mo, worked with Jing Chen. I just met Ray. I'm expanding like never before. That's for sure. And then the old HKOS thing. You know, John L. warned me about HKOS. I mean, it's like an indie thing, basically. And it's really tiresome because it's very short-staffed. Like 2 or 3 people do 5 to 6 people's stuff, and apparently Kay has trust issues. That's what John L says, and it differs from his creative vision for the film festival, which is a very corporate thing to say, but I get his point. But I do want to help out with HKOS to whatever capacity. I don't want to rope myself into any more drama, but you know, hopefully I help the community. And yeah, I'm just gonna end it off like that. Going up and up. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Alright, hello Homo sapiens. Time now is 1:57 p.m. on October 19th. I slept from 4:05 to 1:30. Holy balls, that's a lot. And that's amazing. This is the first time I get to wake up naturally since God knows how many days ago. Yeah, I think this is the first time I got to wake up early since like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. So, yeah, I'm feeling fan-fucking-tastic. I actually like naturally woke up at around 11 a.m. ish. I could have just woken up there and then, but I'm like, no, I need to sleep more. So here I am, very rejuvenated, very alive. Here I am. My chest is sore, which is great news. That means my workout worked out, but my arms are not sore. I don't know why. The dumbbells are not good enough. So we'll see. Maybe I use the wrong muscles. I don't know, but my chest is sore, and that's very good news. Feeling a little better now. So today is a home all day, which is amazing. And the thing is, yesterday I planned to watch 4 or 5 episodes of anime plus a film. I ended up only watching 2 episodes of anime. And finishing other half of a film, even though that film sucks. So yeah, today is gonna be nothing but watching movies, and more movies. More movies, more anime, more movies, more anime. So hopefully, there's time for me to do that. You know, just because I'm doing a home all day doesn't mean I have all the time in the world. I still have everything ranging from films to YouTube videos to assignments to whatever, to editing things, to just trivial things like doing the laundry. So yeah, I'm not gonna let that. I'm not gonna let myself slack off today. Today I'm going to do the things that I need to catch up on and the things that I have to do alone in my own home. So I'm going to do that. Last night I actually came up with a really good idea. So the Indiegogo fundraising campaign for Objects in Mirror is still happening, and so far nobody, aside from Justin and Nick the Dolly Grip, have donated. And that's terrible. I need more money. $20, that's like a bowl of ramen. And then I realized I have a YouTube channel. Sometimes I fail to remember this because my YouTube life is separated from my real life. So I didn't really compute. But then I realized, right, I have like nearly 2,500 followers on YouTube. And, you know, with a fan base this big, some of them are bound to pay me something. And on top of that, if this Indiegogo campaign thing can be international, I can ask my mom for help. And then I also had another idea yesterday, and that is, what if I market my film? Like, what if I turn my Instagram account, like turn the Objects in Mirror Instagram account into a meme page? So what if it gets viral because of that? Or at least it becomes attractive. It doesn't have to be viral. Just a little bit, more, more people paying attention. Like, I don't know, maybe I should do something like that. So, I'm brainstorming, but I definitely do think YouTube helps. I remember 4-ish years ago, or actually 5 years ago, back in 2019, I believe, I made I made an Indiegogo campaign to help fundraise for my conspiracy short film, which never happened. And I even filmed a YouTube video about it. But the thing is, 5 years ago, I had less than 500 subs. Now I have 5 more times than that, and I have a way more dedicated fan base. So, you know what? YouTube may work. In fact, I feel like 95%, if I end up gaining like a couple $100, I feel like 95% of those couple $100 will be from, YouTube. I feel like I have way more dedicated fans on YouTube than in real life. So yeah, that's a very much high possibility. And then, yeah, I had a lot of dreams, but again, I feel like I don't really remember them that well. One of the dreams being like APCA, and I finally meet Lauren, the Hong Konger girl. Because I was surprised that such a Hong Konger girl exists in APCA, I can't stop but think about who she is. Like, I've never even met her. Her Instagram account is privated, so she's even more mysterious because of that. But I can't help but keep thinking who she is. And in my dream, I finally met her. But I forgot the details. I just know I finally met her at some point. I was also with my family, and at the same time, it was in America. It was in LA, so like worlds collided a little bit. But yeah, nothing vivid, nothing too memorable. And what else am I gonna talk about? I drooled on my pillow, like right here. So it's a good ass sleep when I do that. Yeah. Not much else. I'm restructuring The Virgin, the story. Yesterday during class, I was on Microsoft Paint, and I was actually making a chart for my story. And it's crazy, because like I'm literally in the middle of a class with other people looking at my laptop screen, and I'm typing the most ridiculous shit ever. But I realized my script is not good enough, and I need to restructure the whole thing. So far the rewrites have been just me adding scenes and deleting scenes, but now I feel like I need to restructure the whole thing. Especially Act 2 is not strong at all. Act 1 and 3 are strong, but Act 2 is not strong enough. Instead of I don't know, if I read my script right now, it just feels like a series of episodes of small scenes happening. I want watching the film to feel like climbing a mountain and then falling back down and then climbing it again and falling back down again. So I need to make this more about losing and winning than anything else. Yeah, not much else. I'm probably gonna go to church tomorrow. Might as well. And then next Tuesday might be a Criterion 50% off day. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't think I have anything else to add. I'm gonna have pumpkin bread French toast. And for lunch I'll be finishing the fried rice that I had a couple days ago, plus some kimchi. Small lunch. For dinner it's more rice and then the ground beef thing I made, and then maybe some veg, and then I'll probably have like a peach for dessert or something. Yeah. I have a lot of desserts now. I noticed a lack of dessert, and then now I have a lot of dessert. Like ice cream, I got jelly, I got these Trader Joe's lemon bars, I got 2 apples, 2 peaches. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, that's it. The war continues, baby. French toastified pumpkin bread. Here we go. Wow. Okay, time now is 10:29 p.m. Just finished dinner, which is rice, ground beef, tomato paste, canned vegetables thing that I made like a few days ago, plus some boiled bok choy. Really simple stuff. That's not enough calories despite a very heavy breakfast today. That's not enough calories. I'm gonna eat a peach plus some dessert later to fill that up. Yeah, I'm very happy to say this, but NIHT, nothing important happened today. I'm gonna go call Michelle later. But yeah, today has been a bit productive. I filmed and edited a video. I've watched 3 anime episodes and half a film so far, and so far it's been pretty productive. Like I've been doing, quite a bit. Pretty much the stuff I plan to do today. And I don't really have a lot to say. Yeah, I do want to say though that now I'm really busy nowadays, and that starkly contrasts between October last year when I'm really not busy. I remember the days of October last year when I pretty much had nothing to do, no purpose, and I would just wander around Hong Kong and do nothing, and I kind of miss those days too. But I kind of realized that whenever I go back to Hong Kong, I recharge, and then I come back to LA, I basically strike back to the fullest. But also, whenever I'm in Hong Kong, I'm deprived of excitement, of people, of purpose. I'm deprived of purpose. And I feel like I'm being held back, and I feel like, whenever I'm back in Hong Kong, I feel like there's nothing there for me. And then I come back and I go extra hard, almost unnecessarily hard on things, almost violently, almost aggressively. Like I'm living really hard right now, kind of because I lived really soft when I'm back in Hong Kong. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, the semester is already halfway over. We're already closing in to late October, and I feel like nothing too significant has happened. To be honest, if you take some of the events that had happened to me in round 5 so far and put it in round 1 or 2, it's like a huge deal. Being on a film set with so many people meeting so many people, struggling. What else happened? I only remember the film set with Jing, not the In Summer, but Candy or Movie. What else happened in round 5 so far? I genuinely kind of forgot. Yeah, my birthday happened, but that was like nothing. I got high, but it was not memorable of an experience at all. It was not that memorable, it was not that fun or pleasurable, it was nothing. It was basically like nothing. Like, I don't know. Genuinely, I don't think anything too crazy really happened. I don't know, I just wish something crazy would happen, is all. I just wish something crazy would happen. So, yeah. That's basically what I'm trying to get at, you know. Yeah, I had more time today than I had expected because I didn't really plan too much stuff aside from watching a bunch of movies and animes. I actually didn't plan any more than that. I rearranged the Blu-rays on my shelf and now it looks nice. I'm prepared for the frickin' Criterion 50% off sale. Oh, and yeah, the whole workday thing. I'm gonna have to email the HR woman to have her look into this. But yeah, aside from that, there really isn't much. Nothing really compels me. Nothing really compels me, and I think my life so far has two great compellments, driving forces, or driving events. The first one is 60 years long and it's called Secondary School. The second one is Film 33. I kind of want a repeat of Film 33. Whereas I come out on top and I become the victor, you know. I kind of want a repeat of that. I kind of want something intense, something, you know, I want something like that. I don't know, because I feel like I'm just wasting my life away. A little bit. Yeah, I don't know. I just want to be in a story. I want to be in a story arc. Right now, I'm just sort of leveled, you know. I want to live in something riveting and intense. But yeah, anyways, I spoke with a church teacher, so tomorrow I'll have to wake up at like 8 a.m. So hopefully I go to bed at 3 tonight. If that's possible, that would be great. Yeah, and I'll be having some good ass lunch tomorrow, hopefully. If not, that's okay. Also, Justin T was like, "Hey, when are we gonna watch Anora together?" And I'm like, "Bro, I told you, like a whole week ago, I already bought tickets to Anora." And then he's like, "Oh, originally I wanted to work that day, but okay, maybe I'm gonna come." So Justin T bought a ticket to Anora that day. The same day we're seeing the concert with Omnipotence Youth Society. That's gonna be a fun day. I want to eat Shake Shack. But yeah, not much else. I also did spendings. I calculated the amount of money I've spent this month so far, and as it turns out, it's actually not too bad. I have spent so far in October. Hold on. Including rent, I spent $1,943, which is not bad actually. $1,943 is not too shabby. I'll be spending a little more money on Blu-ray and I believe a Blu-ray player. But I believe aside from this, I don't have anything else to purchase. And I'll probably go to grocery shopping maybe 3 to 4 more times. But I think I'll be spending pretty reasonably this month. And also, my fridge is completely filled to the brim with food right now. And I'm not worried about running out of food at all. Like, that's not a concern at all. So that's really good. So I'm doing well, I'm doing fine. and that's all. Okay, first time first time eating peaches in America by myself. I had no idea how to get the seed out, so I cut it the same way as I would usually cut an avocado. Cheers, my mates. It's crunchy.